Hey guys, so I'm trying out a new angle, as you can see, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I'm trying to figure out like the best lighting slash background situation right now, so bear with me. My next couple of videos will probably just be various locations of my apartment, so think of it as like also an unofficial apartment tour. So yeah, there's that. So I'm gonna do a tag today because I feel like I haven't done one in quite a while, and I'm doing the growing up tag. This was created by Emily from Possibly Literate, and I will include her channel and her original video down below. So yeah, I'm super excited to do this one because I feel like I'm an adult now. I've been an adult for like a few years, so hopefully this will bring back a lot of nostalgia for a lot of the older books that I enjoy. So yeah, let's just get started. The first one is Preschool. It's okay to admit it, you're just in it for the pictures. So what is your favorite picture book? And for this one, I have to go with The Paperback Princess. I just love this book. The story was really amazing and the pictures really, I loved like flipping through the pictures as a kid. I'm not too familiar who illustrated or wrote the book, but I'll put their names down below right here so you guys can check it out. But this was just like a book I was really into as a kid, and I still really enjoy it, and I think it's just a really great story, and I love the pictures. And the second one is Kindergarten Naptime. What is a book that put you to sleep? And for this one, I'd have to go with The Animators by Kayla Ray Whitaker. This book just was not my cup of tea. I don't know, it just was really hard to read, and I actually DNF'd. I just could not get into the story. It was just very dull. Basically, like, there's these two females that are animators, so they're breaking into this very male dominant industry. So it talks about their debut animation project that they created, and it goes into a lot of detail about the film they made basically, and it just gets a little bogged down, and it's really hard to picture something that is supposed to be animated. So it's just, I don't know, it's just those passages were just really hard to read, and I kind of got a little sleepy reading them. So the next one is Elementary School. Recess, Storytime, and Jungle Gyms, so much fun. What is a book that is just plain fun? And for this one, I have to go with Rook by Daniel O'Malley. This book was just fabulous. It's every like fantasy sci-fi lover's dream. This just takes a lot of great elements from a lot of different genres and plots and just brings it all together in this really comical, hilarious, but also interesting and engaging story, and I just thought it was so much fun. This is one of my favorite books. I think I mentioned in my 2016 favorite books of the year, and I just absolutely love this book. I know there is like a sequel, but it follows a different character, so I have not read that one yet, but I would recommend this one to anyone that loves that kind of genre. Basically, it follows a girl who loses her memories and finds out she is like the accountant, or she kind of handles like the administrative stuff for a secret service, which is for mythical creatures. It's anything that's supernatural basically, and they kind of keep this hidden and secret from the rest of the world, so they kind of do cleanup duty, also marketing and promotion to make sure that people think that this is just anything normal. So it's kind of about her trying to remember who she is, but also develop this new case that is arising, and it's just a great book. So the next one is Middle School, Awkward and Embarrassing Years. What is a book or series that you're embarrassed to have liked? And this one, I don't really have anything for. I'm not really embarrassed about anything. I know probably like a go-to answer would be Twilight, but I don't know, like I guess I'm embarrassed about enjoying Twilight at the time, but I wasn't like a huge fan of it even when it was coming out. There's nothing really that I'm like a super fangirl about that I find would be embarrassing to tell other people about, so I don't really have an answer for this one. The next one is High School, the popular girl, the jock, the nerd, the loner. These are all stereotypes, but people are more than they appear. what is a character that was a stereotype at the beginning but you ended up really enjoying? And for this one, I have to go with Connie from And Again. This book is just amazing on its own, but I think her character development was really spectacular. This book basically follows four adults with like terminal illnesses, and they get a second chance of life by being cloned and then having their minds put into that clone of themselves. So they're perfectly perfected, better humans. And Connie is an actress that had AIDS, so she underwent the process so she could become a healthy person again. And she's very stereotypical, like blonde actress character that does drugs and then she's also in that stage of her life where she's becoming too old to be considered like a desirable actress. So she was very stereotypical in that sense, but I think her character gets a lot deeper as we see like she has this really interesting relationship with this blind neighbor who lives next door to her, and her just love and compassion for him was really cool to see, and just how she gives into the stereotypes of her character but also pushes back a lot as well. So I think she's a really cool character, and if you have not checked out And Again, this is a really great book. It's by Jessica Chiarella, and it's a fabulous book. It's just amazing. And the next one is College, On Your Own Path, Forging Your Own Schedule. What is your favorite coming of age story? And for this one, I have to say Black Swan Green by David Mitchell. Now, if you are new to the channel, you may not know my big, huge, like, passion for David Mitchell books, but I'm a super huge fan of David Mitchell's stories. This is actually the second book that I read from him, and it's probably one of my favorite coming of age stories. I really like it. It's fiction, but it also is like his childhood. He takes a lot of inspiration from his own childhood. And the boy in the story suffers from a stutter, and David Mitchell also had this issue growing up. So it's kind of about him dealing with that and trying to become popular in high school, but it's also got issues with his family going on, and it's just a really interesting book. There's also like a few weird, magical, surreal bits to it, but it's just super amazing, and I absolutely loved this story. And the last one is Adulthood. Taxes, retirement accounts, and car payments, oh my. All depressing, but you still feel like the world is your oyster. What is a book that is depressing but also has a sense of optimism? And for this one, I'd have to go with The Mothers by Britt Bennett. I know I talk about this book literally in every book tag that I create, but I just am obsessed with this book. I absolutely love it, and it is a really sad story. You have a girl that is dealing with the aftermath of her mother committing suicide, and she gets into this relationship with a recent graduate of her high school, and it kind of just follows their relationship as they grow up, and it's just fabulous. It's a very sad story, and my mom would probably say that there's no sense of like optimism to it, but I still think there is. I just think that there's this little hope at the end that things are going to be okay, and I think there's a huge sense of community. It talks a lot about the church and that type of community, and I just enjoy it, and I think everyone should read it. So yeah, there you have it. That is the growing up book tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would answer for some of these questions. I'd love to hear your thoughts, or if you've read any of these books and love them too, we can always talk about them in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Bye.